Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, 'cause it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Well, hello. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast here for your Monday.
We don't have good beer in here in this refrigerator.
We don't.
We really
What
don't.
do we have?
It's nothing that is bad beer. I don't want to call any beers out because I don't want to get in a fucking meeting about some fucking sponsor that I fucking pissed off.
Okay.
But with that said, I think I have to go run to your office and get some beer.
Okay.
Do you think I can get you back in 90 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
But you're going to run into the boss with a fistful of beer.
Every time.
Every time.
Jugs of beer in my hand. I run into a
Yeah, and
boss.
it's Monday.
Don't forget your mask.
Oh, I would have, Mama.
Yep.
Oh,
You
that'd
would
have
have
been great.
You would have run smack into the boss with no mask and jugs of beer.
If they break, it's calamity.
Nice
All right.
start.
I'll be
Yeah.
right back. You got this shit.
You can do it. Let me time him and see how fast he is.
Okay.
Oh, he's not going yet. He's getting his mask.
Oh, yes, okay.
Him and Denny share one. So that doesn't seem like that's the right way to do it.
All right, so now we're clocking them.
We're timing him now, yes.
When we wrapped up the regular show, we were talking about whose post is it, and I had posted, I dare you to find me a better name for a woman's clothing store. This is a place on 45th Street. You can see the photo of it. I looked at that, and I was in the, in fact, other people have been there. If you've ever been in the Taco Bell drive-thru, I was there, we're getting my son some tacos. I looked up, I'm like, is that Epic Ho? What is that?
It doesn't seem like a very flattering name for a women's clothing store.
No, I think what happened is it's supposed to be Epic Headquarters, but the Q is, so it looks a lot more like Epic Ho, but maybe it's Epic Headquarters. I don't even know.
Okay.
But it's a real place. But I'm like, that actually is a pretty solid name for a clothing store, I think. I mean, wouldn't that stand out? And you're like, okay.
Where are you
maybe you don't want to
going?
look like a hoe, but, you might be like going, oh, man. I mean, it sticks in your mind, right?
It definitely does.
Yeah.
And he's back.
It wasn't a good round.
57
happened?
seconds.
I ran into a lot of people. My mask fell off. It was...
Well, you got your beer, and it didn't explode all over you.
And you
Those are
did
two
it
positives.
in less than a minute.
It was 1 minute, yeah, pretty
Really?
much on the
That
nose,
felt like
yeah.
forever. I hated being away from you guys.
What did you grab? What kind of?
The only two things we had left. This is it. We are out. Pilsen? You ever hear of this guy?
Let me see.
Yeah, it's Bob Pilsen.
Sounds like a Bob Pilsen. You want to get on that train, Mama, without the
No.
tears?
If I start drinking, I will start crying. It's from Uruguay.
Yeah, so it's a very classy beer. I'm very classy.
Huh.
Wow, how about
I don't
that?
think I've ever tried this.
An international brewski.
It's expired.
Is it?
Yeah, I think a lot of our beer is aged out
Who
back
gives
here.
a shit, right?
You know what? At this point, if expired beer is the worst of your problems, you're doing pretty good.
A lot of times, too. Oh, is it expired by a year? Fuck. All right.
The date says 2019. Is that a problem?
You're a beer guy. A
Yeah.
year after. It's not milk.
I don't know that it's going to kill you, but I think, I know that craft breweries, they're very specific about the born on dates because of taste. It just starts to break down. I mean, as soon as you create a batch of beer immediately, because it's, living organisms in there, and they start to break down and die, and it's not going to be the same.
So I have to take off my fake glasses so I can actually read the label.
That's odd. You see better with your glasses off than on. It truly is
5%. Yeah, bitch beer.
Yeah, it's
Bitch beer.
small, yeah.
Taste it.
I will.
I think it's okay.
fine. 5 of these and you don't even taste it.
You're right. It's good strategy. How much would you say you drank yesterday, Virginia? What did you have?
I got back in those Bud Light hard seltzers.
I don't know, is that a good idea? Do you do well in the seltzers?
It's okay. I will tell you because, I have those in my fridge right now. And it's okay for one. It's just the alcohol in it burns differently. You could give me a blind taste testing where I have no idea what I'm drinking, and let's say I couldn't even taste it for whatever reason. I would be able to tell you what I drank by how I feel after. And I stick to pretty much the same things now, but I would clearly be able to tell you had I consumed vodka or had I consumed a seltzer. Because it burns, you feel different. I like much better the way I feel after drinking vodka.
Yeah, I'm a guzzler, and I can't have vodka and guzzle it, or I'll be on the floor.
When she guzzles, we need also a muzzle because shit turns real.
Right.
Guzzle, muzzle. Now, yeah, I drink a lot. I'm not doing vodka. It's too dangerous.
So you need Schlitz. Their old tagline was the beer to have when you're having more than one. Because they knew nobody was going after this thing just for one quiet beer. This was like you were going for a case.
I thought I thought their tagline was, hey, there's nothing else around. So
there's nothing else.
Here's some Schlitz.
Well, that's the old one. Their new one's just, hey, fuck it.
Fuck it. I would really admire a company that said that. Our beer's not that good, fuck it. All right, shit, I'll buy it.
That's the Schlitz's new slogan. So how many of those seltzers would you say you had?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably about 5.
Okay.
You don't weigh much, though. It's going to kick you. You look skinny. I'm trying to work on a compliment through her breakdown. So
Anything else that you had after that?
Well, no, I was feeling fat, so I didn't eat, and that's all I did was just drink seltzers. So.
Okay.
So on an empty stomach, drank a shit ton of liquor.
5 seltzers, yeah.
During a mental collapse.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like the best move, but hey, what the fuck am I? I'm drinking on a Monday with a Furby hat on. So what the shit do I know?
At work.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Grant said, reminder that those seltzers are malt liquor. So, yeah, it does burn different.
Malt liquor does a little something to the bird. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just does. I think different alcohols, you behave and feel different. So
the malt liquor, that's when you're going to get an amped up bird. Like, you get a lot of malt liquor in me. Like, yeah, man, let's fucking try to steal a Statue of Liberty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a strategy with all mine. If I know that I'm gonna have, like maybe I'm hanging out at the beach or a bar kind of thing, I would probably now go with like a Corona because it's light, it burns well, it's not the same kind of calories as a craft beer.
One of my favorite things to do, and I'm talking about fun, friendly, light drinking. You get a little buzz going, and you've got whatever kind of music you're into, and it's playing in the background. And you're just relaxed.
Yeah,
sun's going down, tequila sunrise style. Can I get a fucking amen on that?
Amen.
Thank you.
It is brilliant. It's beautiful.
I think I said that same thing on Friday. Kevin's like listening to music and getting drunk.
Let me see here. Got a couple of different comments coming in here. People were talking a lot about your appearance on Travel Channel last night.
I was very, very happy with the way it turned out. They captured the whole thing. They made it look very cool.
That's awesome.
I thought it was really great. And even people like Mitch are saying, hey, I want to get a hold of Jaybird because I've done a couple investigations in St. Augustine. We'd love to chat, maybe get an investigation going in the near future. So people are reaching out. They're hearing about your appearance last night. And you might appear on a couple other ghost shows, my man.
Look at you. You're a power player.
Power player, power drinker.
Power bottom.
A lot of power in there.
No, it really is awesome. I am moving soon, but what's going to be interesting to see is if a lot of activity goes to my next place, as it has with every other place I've been to.
Do we have any updates on what's going on?
No, I talked a little bit about. I think I talked about it on Friday. That there's a situation that I got with. It's a family. It's a family. A friend of the family, and it's that house. And I basically kind of grew up second house pretty much for me. My mom loved this place. It's one of her friends' place, and we're hoping that I can buy it. So that's what we're looking into.
Exciting.
Yeah, but
okay.
There's other people that don't know if they want to sell, which I completely understand because there's memories attached to it.
But the great thing about selling to you,
come on over.
It stays in the family.
Come on
over.
The
memories don't go to some random group of people you don't know.
Yeah, I was telling Kev, my old place in Gardens, I drove by it. I think they're on crack. I don't know. The way what they did with the yard looks like somebody was high on something and forgot how to plant things.
It's tough when you go back by a house you used to live in, especially if it's childhood memories, and you just see it. It's weird to see especially when they made a really bad adjustment
That's
to it.
what I mean. They made it look like shit.
Yeah, and you're just like, dang, man.
I know.
You don't deserve that house.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It was driving down, seeing that. I go, are you guys even trying? That's why I'm thinking, is there drugs involved? I'm kidding. It's a joke. If they try to sue me.
It's a great disclaimer. That'll hold up in court.
They play my apology. All right, sorry, fuck it. I'm drinking, Furby hat on. Don't sue me.
You're fine. You just covered yourself legally.
It sounded legal.
Yes.
It sounded real legal.
Yeah, no worries now. You're good. Got an email here from Nicole just saying, yeah, Jaybird is so right. When you call a restaurant and have third-party delivery, they treat you like you have the plague, and it is totally not their problem. I can't tell you how many times this delivery service has messed up my order, and the restaurant wants nothing to do with making it good.
She's completely right about that.
Yeah.
It's their fault. It's not our fault. Pointing the fingers.
Yeah, I hear you. It is a challenge.
It really is I think it's a personality thing. There's been mess ups before, and the delivery person was very accommodating, apologetic, and they went and fixed the problem. And then there's other people, they fuck up, and you let them know that's the wrong order, and then they give you shit for their fuck up. Well, look, man, sorry, you wanted a burger, but it's a fucking meatloaf sandwich. I'll tell you.
It's your fault, bro, for ordering all the extra sauces.
Just anything where it's kind of like when you go into a place and you ask for extra cheese and they give you attitude about getting extra cheese, even though you say, I'm going to pay for the extra cheese.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
What is better, you found, when restaurants have their own delivery person?
Yes, 110%. Yeah. And I don't mean that. I there's great delivery companies out there that do it right. It's just too inconsistent and it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So when you pay that kind of money, you don't want fuck-ups. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
If you go into a drive-thru and there's a fuck-up, yeah, okay, you're not going to Red Lobster here. It's not a fancy place.
Red Lobster's not fancy.
For some of us, it is fancy, Virginia. For some of us, it is.
Yeah, I don't do the third party. All my stuff is pretty much just delivered by whoever works there, and I don't have a lot of problems with it.
Well, people go, why don't you just go out and get your own shit? I always order if I've had a drink, I don't want to drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I'm not going to be going out looking for burgers with my fucking buzz on.
Mm-hmm. Smart move. Yeah, the delivery I do, because I don't do a lot of meals because I got my Ideal Nutrition. They, drop my meals off, so I'm all set every week.
Good plug.
Yeah, it is. Because Carlos sent an email. He said, yeah, I've noticed the other day, Kevin, Virginia, and Denny's all have companies they endorse with the word ideal in it. Kevin's got Ideal Nutrition, Virginia Ideal Image, Denny's Ideal Lending. There's a lot of ideals going on here.
I don't do Ideal Image anymore. They fired me.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
We've all been fired from a gig or two.
Yeah. Apparently that must be one of those buzzwords, ideal, that...
Yeah.
It is. You know,
Just
radio
when
shit
people,
is.
they've tested that, and people are like, when I hear ideal, I think it's the best.
Let's go ahead. Let's do it in every market. Let's overkill it and really get people annoyed with it.
Somebody said we need ideal pizza for Jaybird and ideal suits for Reek. Or ideal soups.
Ideal Suits is good.
Or Ideal Soup. Oh, this soup is ideal.
It is ideal. Yeah, it is a good word.
Might be a good soup a day.
You know what would be good? Chicken and dumpling soup.
Mama, if that's what you want to make you feel better, I'll have that at your place, stat delivery style.
I'll eat it and then I'll cry after because I'm so fat.
That's fucking terrible.
That is terrible.
Dude, let's snap out of it.
sad.
I got to get my girl back. Let's get you out of the funk.
I got to do another juice cleanse. I think I'm going to get the juice cleanse back going because I did really good with that.
I don't know if juicing is going to bring you to the promised land, Mama. Juicing's going to fucking heal you from your mental wounds.
It's going to stop me from eating my feelings. If I do the juice, then I don't eat like a whole cheesecake by myself.
You are, first of all, you just got off of a juicing thing and you lost weight and everyone said how great you looked.
Yeah.
You had one weekend where you went ape shit. Let me tell you, if you want to know how to gain weight, I can show you the right way.
He knows how to do it.
You haven't gained weight yet. Get out of your fucking head. You don't need to lose all this weight to be happy. Mama, I want you back.
He does. If you are going for comfort food, though, that chicken and dumplings got to rank up there with like your mac and cheese.
Yes.
The one Denny's does, he loves, and I had a bad experience with chicken pot pie, and I could never get out of my head. But chicken pot pie is a great comfort food.
Right in there.
I was eating chicken pot pie one time, and I'm chewing on something. I'm like, oh, what is this? And it looked like the end of an elbow of a chicken bone, and it had.
You probably got like some tendon or something.
It was a tendon, and I chewed it,
and
it
cartilage.
had a taste to it. Ever since then,
That's tough.
pie has been rough for me.
Yeah, it's tough. When I was a kid, though, I remember that I used to power those things down. In fact, I remember when I was like junior high. I used to have 2. I'd get 2 hot pot pies and put them in and mash them all up into a bowl.
The crust on a chicken pot pie.
Oh, it was
when
great.
It's just a little crispy and brown on the edges.
Well, and I'm like, well, there's vegetables all in this. So I'm like, well, I'm eating healthy. And then one day I checked the calories and I'm like, here's like 1,500 a pot pie.
It's so
like 3,000
fat
calories.
because it's got pot pie juice in it. It's got like this glaze.
It's like a gravy. It's like a chicken gut. I mean, here I was. I'm like, well, I'm on a diet. I'm eating health food. This pot pie diet.
I would do that too. I would find something I love, especially when you have that teenage hunger where you can just eat anything for days. And I would do that with Hot Pockets. I would always make 4 at a time. 4 and still be hungry. When I was 16 or 17, I could eat whatever the fuck I wanted to, and it wouldn't do. It would be fine until I was about 19 years old. It was like the last month of my freshman year, and I had my shirt off. And this one guy comes up to me and goes, "Damn, Penny, you're fat as fuck now." I was like, "What? I'm fat?
I'm fat?
Yeah." And then people.
When did that happen?
Other comments started happening. I go, "Shit, I think I'm getting chubby now."
Yeah.
Let's not do anything about it.
When I was 14, that's when I, turned the corner. I've always been concerned about my weight, but it's just kind of funny. If you look at the timeline and progression of what Kev at that point throughout his life has done, and I've eaten way too much of that I thought was good for a diet and for losing weight. Like I remember when the fat-free stuff would happen and they had these like O'Grady's or some chip or something like that they said were fat-free. And I would sit down and eat a whole bag of that. And because I think it had Olestra and something about that, it wouldn't work. And one time, I just filled... I filled my pants one time.
You shit your pants?
Oh, big time.
How old were you?
Too old to be doing that.
It had that product in it, whatever.
The Olestra.
The Allegra?
Yeah. The Olestra.
Olestra.
I didn't have allergies.
It's the same stuff they put in those sugar-free, fat-free gummy bears.
Shit my pants on that too. I can put together a list of all these things that I've.
If you are constipated, get you some Olestra.
I know you. Yeah. You got that privileged butthole, but that thing's loose.
Well, I've just had a lot of these items that, that's always been my thing. Now I finally got it where I'm like, well, dude, don't eat the entire warehouse full of all this food. Because, I thought I had a complete green light. Kind of like the chicken pot pie. I'd be like, hey, let's have 2 of them. This is health food.
You had a brown light.
Yeah. I've just gone on and on. I had the Hot Pocket thing where I'm like, oh, the Lean Pockets. I'm going to have 8 of these.
Yeah, Lean Pockets, they just taste off. You can tell it's a Lean Pocket and not a Hot Pocket. They have a slate
they're
bullshit
a little off,
taste.
but you don't want to eat 8 of them. I do the same thing with like those Weight Watchers fudge bars. I'd have like 2 boxes of those. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, just the whole course of my diet. Well, they've always, dieting, they've always gone through, like, this is the era of non-fat. This is the era of this. This is the era of whatever it might be. And I rode every single one. I bought every lie that they ever came up with to stay thin.
My mom and Ann were always doing some kind of diet thing. And they went to one of those they had to go to this diet clinic thing. And I forget which one it was. And this lady was just going in on chocolate, talking about how terrible chocolate's for you. You can't eat chocolate. My mom and so the woman tried to make chocolate gross for them and say, there's rat hairs in chocolate. You don't want to eat that stuff. It's gross. And then my mom said, well, as long as the rat doesn't leave a paw print, I'll still eat the chocolate. And they kicked her out.
Wow.
They kicked her out for being a smart ass.
That's amazing to get the boot from there.
From her diet class.
She got kicked out of diet school?
They kicked her out of diet school.
Damn.
I heard that story a lot.
That is pretty impressive. Good for her. One of the texts that came in, somebody said, did you guys see that Rob Schneider has a new Netflix special?
Yeah, I did see that.
You guys should maybe do a sudden death punishment, have somebody have to watch and rate it. Yeah.
Again,
Well,
there's not a there's not a hatred of Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
I can watch Rob Schneider and him do something and go, oh, I thought that was funny. I'm not going to hate just to hate.
Yeah. Yeah, I would watch it. I saw it. I was like, maybe not right now, but maybe
I used
later.
to like him. I really did.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe it's funny. They didn't say if it was funny or not. I'd like to know. Like, is it amusing or does it kind of miss the mark?
I heard of him back in the day, not from all of the Saturday Night Live stuff. He did a comedy special for the young comedians, and back in the day, and they still kind of do that, they would just run shit all the time on HBO, so you'd see it constantly, and his stand-up was always on growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was, in Saturday Night Live in the 90s, he was one of the big players there.
Oh, yeah.
Got with Sandler. I did watch one of the Adam Sandler Netflix movies over the weekend. I think it was Murder Mystery with Jennifer Aniston. Have you seen that yet?
I have.
It was okay. What'd you think?
It was okay.
It was okay.
I said it was just okay a couple months ago, and I got some fucking heat back from people.
What did they say? Like, it's not okay?
Fuck you, Bird. Just because you make clowns have murderous ways doesn't mean you know shit. I think that was a direct quote.
And they were saying it was bad?
They were saying it was good. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, they loved it. They were raving on how can you not like it?
It was enjoyable.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not recreating film, but it's, I thought I liked it.
Adam Sandler is a
it.
guy I always going to pull for because he just seems like a likable person.
Absolutely,
and I like
yeah.
likable people.
Yeah, I watched it. I was like, okay, that was cool. That
Yeah.
was good. I don't be like, oh, gosh, I just wasted my time. So it was good enough. Give it a shot. Heather said, I'd like to see if you guys would check out the new Cardi B song WAP and do a reaction video to that.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I haven't watched the whole video. I've seen clips out of it. I heard some of the lyrics, and yeah, it's when it comes to it's right up there. If you had to put together the top 5 filthiest songs of all time, would it make the top 5?
Filthiest? I don't know. I have to do a deeper dive.
Because I'm trying to think of what you would have up there, because it is pretty filthy.
Do people like reaction videos? I know it's a big popular thing in the young internet community, but do people legit, older people, they want to see us, you know what I mean? Is that interesting to watch, us watching something?
I don't like it at all.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate reaction videos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd make top 5. Well, it's got everything you'd want in there, though.
It's very explicit.
Very explicit about
I'm reading it right now.
about the female genitalia. I see a N-word in there.
I do a Kegel while it's inside, spit in my mouth, look in my eyes.
Yeah.
If this pussy's wet, come take a dive.
You're reading it like it's poetry.
Tie me up.
Oh, it is poetry.
Like I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Let's role play. I'll wear a disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Oh, shit. Make it cream. Make it scream. Out in public. Make a scene.
Poetry.
I
Well
don't
done.
cook. I don't clean.
How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
That turned you on when I read it?
I don't want to stand up right now, I'll tell you that. That's all I can say.
I keep on seeing articles about, she's gone too far with this song. Oh my gosh, what are we doing? This happens every time. Every year someone comes out with a song that nobody can believe the content.
It works into their favor.
And everyone's saying, yeah, people love when their shit's banned. It works for them,
Yeah.
always.
It's only gonna help their career.
Do you want me to tell you that Billy Joel story about Only the Good Die Young again, Virginia?
Again.
The Catholic Church, Kevin,
We have to act like we haven't heard it.
banned Only the Good Die Young. They wanted it banned. And then
Banned?
after that happened and it hit the press, boom, shot up like a rocket on the charts. All right.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was all good. I know that college campuses are going to be heading back. I saw some of that stuff over the weekend, some of the photos. There was one party that had happened. I think it was in North Georgia, about an hour north of Atlanta, and they had just a rager because the students are back on campus. My son started today at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. That's about an hour south of where that big old bash was. They had people in Alabama. think it was in Tuscaloosa, that were at a bar. Nobody's wearing masks, all crammed in there. And they're like, okay, how long is it going to be before these numbers just go through the roof? Is this a good idea to send kids back? We'll see what winds up happening with that. Who knows?
Are they testing the kids at school or no?
Just math testing.
Yeah. No, I don't think so, because I just don't think they have the capacity to do that for all the kids. But, some students were pushing back saying, why am I going to pay all this money for a virtual experience? That's a lot of cash to pay for just doing online courses. So, universities, it is a debate you could take on, or maybe rushing things and pushing it to get kids back in the classes just so that they don't lose massive amounts of money.
Universities should be ashamed of themselves of how much they charge tuition and books and all that. I don't know who's
crazy.
I don't know who's responsible and who's in charge of making that final price line, but whoever is in charge of that is a fucking jerk.
Yeah. Well, some people have said that. There's been a little bit of a pushback against the institution of colleges for the money they charge, the textbooks that are so expensive, saying that a lot of it's a racket. Because there are a lot of people that have paid the money, done the time, have the debt, they get out, and then they find a career where they can hardly get a job, and then they're realistically not going to pay off all the debt that they've racked up for 30 years.
Don't make me tell you that story about how I couldn't return that $300 economics book, Virginia. So here's what happened.
Billy Joel.
Yeah. Seems like the schools that are doing it well, are doing a good bit of virtual, but if they do some classroom stuff, they'll have about a quarter of the kids, and they'll try to space them out. My son, a lot of his stuff is online, virtual stuff, but he has a few labs that he's going to show up at, but you have to wear a mask. They're going to try to space it out.
Oh, that was always another bullshit thing they'd do. Oh, you got to take the science class, but you also have to take the lab, and the lab is an extra $3 million, and then we need $8,000 for that first chapter of the book.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's insane. It really is.
It is a lot, just because education has changed, where you can get, and people argue that you can find out all the information you need. The problem is you're not going to be accredited, and that is the big issue. You aren't going to walk out with a degree from whatever university. At some jobs, you benefit by doing that.
Thank God radio is just
A bunch of
fuck faces.
Yeah, you don't need anything.
You really don't.
No, you don't need a thing.
Well, which is always weird because they couldn't let interns in here without them being enrolled in some type of school. It was kind of
you can't have people work for free.
Yeah, I guess.
back in the day you could, but then,
They did a lawsuit. There was a radio station in D.C. got sued for a ton of money, and that killed, for the most part, all the interns in our field.
And they were having interns that were not in school, and they were probably abusing it and not getting paid.
Well, they had argued they were having them do things that an employee would. And it's always been, I did 2 internships to get into radio. And yeah, they had me doing a lot of stuff that a paid employee would typically do. But to me, I understood the exchange. I was making connections, I was learning things, and I was paying a crazy amount of money for classes, but I was getting more value out of this internship than anything I ever paid for. So to me, it was a great investment of my time.
Of course.
And that was how it worked. I couldn't believe when the lawsuit happened. And they're right, yes, but when you're talking about paying for an education, that was the best thing. If I would have known differently now, I would have gotten right out of high school. If I could have done a free internship, I would have done a couple of those, learned everything I need to know about radio, and then bam, get in it and save some money and time.
I can see both sides. I think if you are abusing the power of an intern and you're making them do all kind of crazy shit and they're going above and beyond, there's mistreatment, that's not cool. But to your point, if you're an intern and you're learning the skills and the craft, that's way valuable, and you're making connections, and I think that is a fair exchange.
And I was the definition of an abused intern.
Yeah.
I was the stunt guy getting tied up in trees and beaten by listeners.
But you knew it had a value.
But that right there, that's different to me. You did it. You had a value. You're getting your chops. I'm talking about shit you're not getting credit for. You're doing all this under this work that no one even knows you're getting credit for, and you're getting mistreated.
Yeah.
You were getting public, No,
I was my job towards the end of my internship in New York. They were like, "Yeah, you got to run the tickets out to the Jones Beach, which is where the amphitheater was." And I'd have to drive there on my own dime. Never got any money for gas, and it would take the entire day. And after a while, I'm like going, what am I? I'm just learning how to be a courier.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about.
That's
not
what
cool.
I'm like. That's when I
Agreed.
bailed on my internship because I'm like, all right, I'm not getting anything out of
Yeah,
this.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so that I understand.
You had to drive your own vehicle?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Well,
man.
to me, that's mistreatment at that point. You're not getting anything out of it. You're losing money.
Kind of what I felt. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
I'm
that.
like, but I just left. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I'm like, all right, I think
You
I
have
got
a press
everything.
conference about it?
No, I'm like, I think I didn't sue. I'm like, I think I got everything I needed out of this. I'm going to take off now.
You got the relationship.
I did, and it parlayed into my first job. I got my first job because of the station I worked at.
And then it led you to the Kevin Ralston.
You're right.
It all fucking worked out.
Yeah, opened
Not
the
before
door.
the Kevin Cross.
That's right.
Yeah. Those were dark days.
Aw.
But yeah, they say that there's a lot of stuff. So it depends upon what you're talking about. In fact, there's a lot of things online that you can learn. I've been trying to get the golf thing going. If anybody has any like great free golf lessons, like on YouTube, you can see. I need a little bit of work.
Oh, there's so
needless to
many
say.
of them on there.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it. There's kind of a list of all these kind of great freebies you can take advantage of, like Duolingo. I've told you about that. It's a free language learning app. And somebody gave me some great advice, though. Duolingo is good. I spent maybe about a year just doing Duolingo. It's kind of good to test your knowledge, but I wouldn't say it's awesome for learning Spanish. I ordered a workbook. I work from that, and there's a lot of cool things on YouTube you can see on how to learn Spanish, and that's been more valuable than Duolingo ever was for me. But again, it's all free, except for the workbook. I did pay for that.
I always tell you about I was in that bind where I needed to make cheese enchiladas. Never didn't know how to make them. YouTubed it. Boom.
I love cooking videos. And what I'll do is I'll put them on while I'm making something, and you'll get little tips on how you can spice up what you're doing. Anything you're doing, anything you're making, there's like 10 videos about it.
Yeah, the majority of content that I probably absorb is from YouTube. It's just so unique. And what I love about it, every single second, something new is being uploaded that is so unique that, you know, it's almost like a little treasure hunt. When you find something cool, it's fun.
Right.
I learned how to make hollandaise sauce
Yeah.
last weekend from a YouTube video.
Well, what would be really helpful is if for anything you want to learn, like let's say, for instance, Spanish. Some listeners helped me out and said, watch this guy's series, and it was massively helpful. That if somebody would put together a YouTube curriculum, you could get a degree from YouTube University. If you watch all these videos and if you can master this material that was in these videos, then in a sense you have a degree in Spanish from YouTube University.
Yeah, there even something as niche as these guys got on there, how to properly build a legit wiffle ball field, and it broke it down step by step. Now, your average person's never going to watch that, but for someone like me, it's like, holy shit, this is gold.
Right. A couple other things you can check out. There's Library Genesis. It's a great place to look for and download college university textbooks for free, as well as other books. That's Library Genesis. There is Open Learn. One word, Open Learn, from the UK's Open University. They got free courses for basically anything. You can go in there and get basically an online degree for free.
They always talk about that with the public library too. If you go into the public library, there's all this free shit that nobody knows about, that no one uses, and it's pretty much yours.
But to me, what it is somebody guiding you to say, this is really valuable, because I have also done finding my own Spanish learning. Some of them were a disaster. There's this chick that just would go on there and rant and talk about, so I took my dogs out today. And I'm like, 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Am I learning anything?
No, I didn't learn a damn thing.
Of long-winded fuck faces on YouTube.
Oh my
Me being
gosh.
one of them.
I finally had to stop. I'm like, I'm not getting anything.
There's nothing more annoying. We're just trying to learn something, and it's like a 5-minute. So then I got my nails done.
Right.
So
having that guidance that somebody is saying, check out this video series, check out that video series.
I always like when I look at the timestamp and it's under 3 minutes.
Yes.
Like, okay, I can hang with this.
It is good. Yeah, somebody does that. And I think, another YouTube series I watched, it was Gringo Espanol or something like that. There's a guy that does short videos kind of like that if you're looking for it. Project Gutenberg, lots of free classic books you can get online. And Unsplash, you can get free photos of just about anything. Because I know for us, we get dinged for any kind of copyright issue. But great photographers will take a photo of something and put it up there and say, yeah, go ahead and use it and take it. That's all good.
I'm so scared to post anything of a picture that's nothing I took. Even if it's your picture, I'm like, I'm not fucking touching it. She's going to sue me.
Yeah.
If I didn't take it with my phone, I'm not posting it.
Because we've been down this path and we've got scared and sued.
Yeah, don't get me started because I don't even know what I'm allowed to even talk about. There's a rant I want to go on so bad, but I'm also afraid I'm going to get sued and then called into a meeting.
Somebody texted and said, yeah, UCF is testing and quarantining or sending home anybody who is positive. They are moved from their dorm to another location. And I could see that. I mean, maybe they're doing the temperature check still to see, but, as is typical with all this COVID information, it drifts from day to day.
Right.
And what was the last thing I read just tail into last week about the temperature's not the right way to tell this. So I was like, wait, what? Okay, so, they said they're going to probably stop doing the temperature thing as a gauge.
Oh, yeah. We've only been doing that for 4 months. Glad they picked that up. What the fuck is real, Virginia?
I don't know.
Don't
ask
you
me.
don't know.
I'm going to start crying.
I mean, then you get people give you shit for, acting out because you're confused.
Yeah.
How dare me be confused and you're confusing shit?
Yeah, well, it is, because they're just, it changes all the time. I was just even reading today because they're talking initially about the herd immunity where there is such a, pervasiveness of the virus in our society that we don't have to worry so much about the vaccine. And they're saying, yeah, you got to get to 70%. And now they're saying, we think 45% would be enough.
They changed it.
That's what
I'm like, I can't. I'm reading it all the time. And then I'm so twisted around like, okay, wait, what is it this week?
Well, I feel like you're probably the least controversial person that I know. You're not trying to get people mad. You're not a troll in that sense.
I'm trying to just make sense of it. I'm trying to put in the work and read some stuff so that I can make it easier for other people.
It is weird, though, the mentality of people that get mad when someone's trying to be positive. Like, we all know this is a shitty situation. We obviously know people are dying and that's horrible. But you also want to try to get some hope in there too. And to express some hope, I don't get why that's such a fucking controversial thing to do.
Yeah.
Everything's political.
Yeah, but it's not. But everything isn't, though.
Health shouldn't be, but for some reason it is. And everybody just wants to fight.
Yeah.
I'm so done.
You know what I found? I don't fight with people on the Twitter. I go on there. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you're right. I'm like, I'm just, this is what I saw and here's the source.
I definitely fight with people. And I'll tell you why. It gets me way more interaction. I want to thank the hater that called me out last week. That person got me 100 new Instagram followers.
Wow.
So thank you.
Good.
Bring on the hate, bitches.
That's good stuff. All right. So there you go. Go after them. Hashtag cancel the bird is what we use here on the show.
I love how you two both have independent cancel campaigns on each other.
Totally.
Yeah,
he's going down.
I'm trying to cancel everybody on the show. I always see when somebody goes after you, and there's a cancel campaign I try to fire up.
I love canceling Kevin.
Yeah, it's just a fun concept. So go on and cancel anybody on the KVJ show. You can follow us on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. So we'll see you all there. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.